and welcome to the 8th race of the Dice Racing Series. And today we're at the Radiator Springs Speedway, based on a track for the Maternational Championship. So first the track. Start here at the big straight area of the track. Take a wide turn. Then we're gonna get in this zigzag. I believe it's called a chicane. Another turns, a few turns this way, and one big turn, and the final turn back to the straight. So yeah, starting in first place, we have, I believe again, he started in first place twice, I think. Rip Leskonski, sponsored by VT Cars 31. Starting at the front row again, this time in second place, Francesco Bernoulli, who has the most pole positions and the most front row startings in the competition so far. He is sponsored by Crazy Cars Canada. Third place we have Shooter Roki, sponsored by Rex Reveler 80 Official. Fourth place we have Nigel Gearsley, sponsored by T-Toy Reviews Thai. Starting in fifth place we have Vitaly Petrov, sponsored by Cars Collect UK. Starting in sixth place we have Karla Vlosa, sponsored by Manon Lune. In seventh place we have Rolls Rules, sponsored by 95 Fan. Eighth place starting we have Max Schnell, sponsored by I'm Elvis RV. Ninth place we have Miguel Camino, sponsored by Escar Ramirez. Starting in 10th place we have Lightning McQueen, sponsored by Little 57. Starting in 11th place we have Lewis Hampton, sponsored by Cars Diecast Reviewer. And in 12th place we have Jeff Corvette, sponsored by Interstate 290. Well, now we've gone over all the sponsors, it's time to start the race. So after a few times rolling, Rip was off to a great start, then had a bad roll which allowed Vitaly to get in front of him. But only Vitaly, the rest wasn't able to catch up to him. Raul is right behind him together with Shu and all of the other cars. Francesco is doing decent, had a bad start but recovered a bit. Jeff is begun and what he claims before the race, his recovery run. Lightning and Max, they actually blocked both Jeff and Lewis, otherwise Jeff would probably be a bit more over there. And Lewis, yeah, he's just having bad luck. First time being blocked, second time having a bad dice roll. Heading into the second lap, Vitaly Petrov is now leading the group. First, Rip of course had a good start, but then Vitaly passed him, and since then he has been able to keep the lead. Although Francesco came pretty close to him at some point. Chasing after him are Francesco and Miguel. Francesco has definitely recovered. And then behind there, the rest is kind of still in a group. Jeff is doing a great job catching up to the front. Shu is actually between the two groups of cars that are racing. Then here the battle for not to be last. Rip, our pole position car, is now battling it out with Lewis, Max and Lightning for last place. First of all, I forgot to mention this race is 7 laps, so now we're heading into the third lap. Raul is leading, but he has been battling with Miguel and Vitaly for the lead for some time now. Jeff right here, his so-called recovery run is going great. He started in last place, of course, and now he's 4th. Next up, Max Schnell, who has managed to get out of the battle for not to be last, now is doing pretty good. Same thing with Rip, who now is managing to get back up front. Carla's just doing decent, just like Nigel. Francesco, yeah, he is kind of falling back. He's gonna have to catch Jeff and get a few places in front of Jeff if he wants to take back first place in this championship. But it's definitely not decided who's gonna win this. So yeah. Then Lightning and Shu are here in the back together with Lewis. Heading into the fourth lap, Raul is still in the lead. But both Miguel and Vitaly are still chasing him down. More behind we have Rip, who is together with Max and Karla, and also Jeff are constantly changing who is going after these guys, who's changing the place for 4th place and stuff. And Shu is here. Then Nigel and Francesco are battling somewhere in the back, and then all the way over here we have Lewis and Lightning. Poor Lewis is now in this position in last place, so I can roll the dice, but it doesn't matter much because he is overlapped and being blocked because you could go through here, but I don't count it as going through it. It's like more like this, but he can't get out of here, so poor Lewis. Going into lap 5, Raoul is still leading, with Vitally right on his tail, being chased down now by Jeff, whose self-claimed recovery run is going great still. And Miguel is chasing him down, just like Carla and Rip. Lewis Hamilton's overlapped, only car so far. Seems like this is gonna be the first time he's gonna finish in last. Max and Nigel just probably gonna overlap Lewis soon if this keeps on. Lightning here, just somewhere in the back, just like Francesco and Shu. Now heading into the 6th lap. Francesco is being overlapped at the moment. But yeah, together with Lewis, he'll be the only overlapped car probably. Because Shu, we'll get to in a minute. Jeff has been battling for the lead actually, now he's in 2nd. Miguel and Vitally right behind him, just like Rip. Then over here we have Lewis Hamilton, the only overlapped car now. Not anymore because Francesco's also, but yeah, he's almost overlapped by everyone. Only Carla, like, he has been overlapped by half the fields. Lightning is chasing down Carla because yeah, they're battling not to be in last. Then we have Nigel and Shu and Max over here, and then yeah, then it's the distance to Raoul here, so he's probably gonna be the only other car overlapped. And we're now starting the final lap. Raoul is still leading, but Vitally and Jeff and Rip are chasing him down now. And yeah, the rest of the cars are here, besides Francesco is overlapped. Lightning and Francesco Lightning and Carla are just with these guys, and Lewis is also overlapped, of course. And his only chance of not being last is Francesco. So yeah, he's gonna have to try really hard if he wants to not be last. And here we have Max and Nigel. There's a chance they get overlapped, but I don't expect them to. It is now almost certain that Raoul is gonna win, unless he rolls a double one and he's 1-1, but probably doesn't. If he does, then that's the only chance that Jeff has to win. Otherwise, he's probably gonna get 2nd unless he has a bad dice roll and one of these guys has a good roll. We're like battling it out together with Miguel back here. She was coming after them like Carla. And we have Francesco, who is still managed to stay in front of Lewis, even though because they're both overlapped. Also, the only cars who have been overlapped. Nigel and Max here, and Lightning is overlapping Lewis. Lewis almost got overlapped by Raoul, but since this is the finish line for Raoul, yeah, Lewis still has like more than a lap to go, so he still has a chance to catch Francesco, but it's probably gonna be close. We'll see what happens. Now, time to probably finish Raoul. Yes, he finishes first. First time winning for Raoul, so he's gonna go here. Time for Jeff to finish. 1, 2, yeah. So Jeff is 2nd. Time for the next group of cars to finish. Hope for Miguel, he hopes to get 3rd now. It's 1, 2, 1. Miguel doesn't make it over the finish line. This opens up an opportunity for Vitally to get on the podium again. And he does. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Vitally got 3rd. Miguel almost passed him, almost got in front of him, but didn't. So now Rip. Yeah, Rip does it too. Another time in 4th. Now, time for Miguel to finish finally. So, a 3, 1. And he finishes 5th. Rookie. 1, 2, 3, 1. He doesn't finish. Maybe Carl does? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. And Carla finishes 6th, just at the last second. If he had one more of the dice, then he would have gotten 6th, so now he's 7th. This time it is time for Shu. 5 and 6 and 1. So the same situation happened twice. So first with Miguel, then with Shu. So not good for them. Now let's see if Nigel finishes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yes, he finishes 8th. And Max finishes 9th. Maybe Lightning can make it to 10th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yep, Lightning makes it to 10th. Now it's a battle between these two. There's still a chance for Lewis, but I don't think he's gonna make that. 5 and 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Yeah, Francesco finishes 11th. And poor Lewis is gonna finish in last place, 12th. So now after the race, Raul has won. I believe it was during the I believe it was in the second lap he overtook Vitally for the lead. And yeah, he has remained in the lead ever since. Although there was one lead change. Jeff Corvette got in first place, but yeah, the next turn Raul took first place back. But Jeff Corvette has also raced in first. Vitally also did really good. He finished in 3rd. At the last moment he passed Miguel, who had actually been able to jump from 5th to 3rd, but didn't finish, so both Vitally and Rip were able to pass him at the end. But yeah, he did pretty good, remained in the battle for the lead for most of the race. Rip just did his usual race. He had a good start, then fell kind of back to like over here. But yeah, then he got back and raced around this position the rest of the race, where he usually races 4th or 5th. Miguel has battled for the lead for most of the race. Eventually lost and got 5th. Not much to say about these guys. Lightning almost overlapped Lewis. Now about both Lightning, Max, about the last 4, there's like some things not sure, because it is possible that Lightning accidentally skipped some turns, that he didn't drive in those turns, which was my mistake. Same with Max and these two, but for these two, that I believe I did once, that both Max and Lightning got, that I did Max, then Lightning, then Max again. They shouldn't have done these two, although it didn't matter much because they were both like a lap behind. Still, so there's just some things not going right here, but yeah, this is the way it finished, and otherwise maybe Lightning would have been here, or yeah, Lewis would have been here, but it is what it is. Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.